Okay, so welcome to the Room of Uncertainty. If you have chosen a card that you are uncertain represents you in your family dynamic or relationship, then you have entered this room. The question that I have to ask you now is take a look at the card and imagine its opposite qualities. So I have the King of Swords, and if I imagine that this is, I'm not sure whether it really fits me or not. What I want you to do is imagine its opposite qualities. So the King of Swords is someone who is certain and perhaps a bit ruthless and very straight cut. And if I imagine his opposite, then I imagine a more feminine, gentle, emotional side, and that would be the sort of counter opposite to the King of Swords. And the question I would then ask you is, are you closer to the opposite of the card or not? So that is to say, if I imagine the opposite of the King of Swords over here and the King of Swords here, do I feel closer to the opposite, or do I still feel closer to the King of Swords, the card I've chosen and am uncertain of? And what I would then like you to do, just looking at my own map of the labyrinth so I can help guide you through it, is if you feel more like the opposite of the card, more like the opposite qualities of the card, then choose link E below and journey further into the darkness of the labyrinth. But if you still feel actually a little bit closer to the card itself than its opposite, then you can take a bold step through an open door to your right and choose link D down below and move further deeper into the labyrinth, and perhaps not as darkly as choosing link E, where you feel more like the opposite. And perhaps you may come back to this room, or perhaps this room of uncertainty might be the only time that you enter this room as you wend your way through the labyrinth. Sometimes in a labyrinth we can go round and back to the place that we were several times before learning to move on from that. Okay, so if you feel closer to the uncertain card, then take link D, and if you feel closer to the opposite of the card, more this side, then choose link E down below. And I will see you in the next room. And of course, one of the things that you'll learn from this particular exercise is finding the opposite of court cards, and that really helps understand and helps you understand how they work as a dynamic energy in readings themselves. Each of these exercises is also an immersive way of picking up really essential skills for actual real tarot card readings.